It's Andrei Hall, America's retirement asset distribution professional.
I take great pride in going above and beyond for my clients and utilizing strategies to maximize what you get in retirement while at the same time potentially minimizing taxes to ensure your money will last.
And here's Andrei Hall, America's retirement asset distribution professional.
The status quo. The traditional way of thinking is to save as much as you can in a tax-deferred account. But now, there's a whole smorgasbord of options among retirement accounts, many of which people aren't even aware exist. So there's a lot standing in the way of folks being able to maximize the savings they are so diligently putting away. Times have changed. People are living a lot longer and relying on retirement accounts, along with Social Security as the centerpiece of their retirement plan. Instead, most of the money we use to support ourselves in retirement comes from defined contribution plans. So we've got to be much smarter and clever in how we leverage all the options available to us. Some of these options have only come into being in the last 10 to 15 years, and awareness is just not there. I want you to think of it as a funnel. If you're putting your money predominantly into tax-deferred plans because you're not aware of or don't know how to use other options, you're taking away your flexibility at age 72. You load up your assets in a 401k and an IRA, and you're going to be hit with income taxes and stealth taxes like Medicare IRMA surcharges and higher Social Security tax. You've lost your flexibility because you've loaded up in one type of account. You have given up your tax diversification because you have no flexibility, and you've end up paying more taxes. The bottom line is that by singularly focusing on one type of account, you will have less money in your pocket and less money for your heirs and your legacy. Now, you have the added complexity of the new Tax Act. That is the biggest change to the tax code since 1986 and turning over 100 years of tax legislation on its head. It's more important to speak with someone and evaluate where you stand in your tax planning future. I would say a good number of clients come to me with Roth accounts, but they've only been funded in a half-hearted, disorganized way. They may have $5,000 thrown in the Roth account, but are still dumping all of their money into a traditional 401k plan at work. They're not being thoughtful about conversion strategies if they're getting a little bit older or there's a year when income is a bit lower. For many, it's not considered a core part of their retirement planning. It's an afterthought or some little side thing that they throw a few bucks into. As an advisor, I always start talking to people about Roths right away. The value of the Roth is a long-term growth that's tax-free. The earlier you start tax-free compounding, the better off you are. Also, anytime the government gives you a gift, you need to take it. One of those gifts is the opportunity to grow your money tax-free, and you have 3 ways to do it: health savings accounts, HSAs, Roth IRAs, and 529 plans. But it depends on your situation. Not everyone's situation is the same, and we proceed by focusing on whichever of those accounts is best for you after a comprehensive overview. But if any of these options aren't on the table for consideration, I want you to know you may be missing out. A Roth IRA offers tax deferral on any earnings in the account. Qualified withdrawals of earnings from the account are tax-free. Withdrawals of earnings prior to age 59 and a half or prior to the account being open for 5 years, whichever is later, may result in a 10% IRS penalty tax. Limitations and restrictions may apply. Most individuals have it ingrained in their heads that they need to get that tax deduction. If they're going to plan for retirement, they need the subsidy from the government up front. Otherwise, it's not worth it. CPAs I have encountered have been trained the same way. They want the tax deduction up front. Think about A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. You have the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future. But it's not until when Scrooge sees the future that he fixes up his life. He's now seeing the future, and it's absolutely horrifying. Most people don't think this far ahead or have processed what can happen throughout the years. There's also the fact that some incredibly sophisticated individuals are unaware of their retirement account options. Why is there so much uncertainty? Part of it's because some of these options are newer. The Roth 401k has only been around since 2006. Additionally, HR people are not pushing the Roth 401k. If you read the manual, they offer that type of account, but they're not talking about it or providing the education. I think they see it as more work on their part and who's going to use it. No one's going to bother with it, so they don't make it a priority. You've got inertia because these are newer vehicles that people don't know about. CPAs want you to get a tax deduction today because that's how they've been trained. The burden is on financial advisors to educate their clients and put together the package that really makes sense for them. For example, in 10 years, when a client has a $4 million IRA, RMDs will be over $200,000 a year. And they're going to get taxed and pay surcharges and have absolutely no control over that. I tell clients we need to deal with this now, and that may mean a partial Roth conversion where you pay the taxes now, but this can potentially benefit you in the long run. I'd love for you to click the link attached to this video to schedule a complimentary meeting to evaluate where you are. A picture is worth 1,000 words. I'll try to help you visualize what your decisions today mean for 10 or 20 years from now. I'll also be happy to answer any other questions you may have. I look forward to speaking to you.